Hello there, fellow model makers, and welcome to the second part of my guide on hand painting scale models. I am working on the Italeri 1/48 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark 1, and last time I completed the cockpit. The kit comes with a fairly elaborate engine. It is well detailed and would provide the perfect base to scratch build the engine if you decided to keep the engine exposed. However, for this build, I will be keeping the engine cowling closed. But still, I did put the engine together and paint it black just so you could see the level of detailing. With the engine now done, I can glue the cockpit and the engine inside the fuselage and close the two halves up. Once the cement was dry, I sanded off some of the seam lines. To do this, I used a 600 grit sanding sponge, then a 1000 grit sponge, and lastly a 2000 grit sponge. Finally, a polishing stick to restore the shine. Avoid using rigid sanding tools like this block or a stick, as it will lead to flattening of the curved surface, which will be very difficult to restore. Now, with all the seam lines cleaned up, I glue in the remaining cowling pieces. Unfortunately, these do not fit too snugly, and there are large gaps in places. I will fill up the gaps later, but for now, I just focus on gluing the pieces in place as cleanly as possible. Right, while the cement cures on the fuselage, I put together the wings. This was fairly straightforward. The parts lined up reasonably well, with a minor gap here or there, which I will fill up later. The wings and fuselage were glued together. This too was a reasonably good fit. The only gap worth some concern was this one here, but this too will only need some putty and a cleanup. I completed the build by gluing in place all the remaining major parts, like the tail assembly pieces. To mask the canopy, I used Mr. Marking Sol R masking fluid. The canopy parts had nicely defined features, and this makes it easy to apply the masking fluid. I just use a cocktail stick to push the fluid to the edges and let it dry. I now turn my attention to filling the gaps in the kit with some putty. The putty I prefer is Liquitex modeling paste. It is as good as any modeling putty and it is much cheaper. The Liquitex putty is water-based. What that means is that once the putty is dry, I can simply take a Q-tip moistened with water and wipe away all the extra putty. This gives me a clean finish, and what is more, none of the details around the seam lines are damaged from sanding. However, there are some seams that need sanding, like the leading edges of the wings. In order to preserve the details here, I deepen the panel lines with a saw before I sand them down. This makes life a lot easier compared to restoring the panel lines after the sanding. Before I start painting the kit, I clean it up thoroughly with a paper towel moistened with alcohol. I now glue the front end of the canopy in place and paint it with the same zinc chrome green as the cockpit interior, so that it matches the inside of the cockpit. For the underside of the plane, I will be using Vallejo Air Duck Egg Green. The technique is same as that for the cockpit. Dilute the paint with water and then using a flat brush apply it in thin watery layers. Things to watch out for: don't allow the paint to pool, brush off any bubbles that may form, and don't keep fiddling with the paint as it dries. I apply the second layer diagonally to the first one. By applying these diagonal layers, I seem to get better coverage and very few brush strokes. Now a question I have been asked several times: how long does one wait between coats of paint? The time between coats of paint varies from one type of paint to another. This is acrylic or water-based paint and dries very quickly. But still, just to stay on the safer side, I usually wait about half an hour between coats of paint. Another question that I have been asked repeatedly is, in what ratio does one thin down the paint? I have answered these questions in part 1 of the series, but just to refresh, there is no exact ratio which I can suggest. There are just too many variables for there to be one single ratio for all types and brands of paint to work. The better approach, I feel, is to develop a feel for the consistency of paint. And the best way to develop this feel is through experience and practice. In all, I applied some 7 layers of very thin light paint. Now I have been told that if I thicken the paint a bit, it would take fewer coats. But over the years I have come to rely on this particular technique. And while it may take a little more effort and time, it is relatively easy and I have got satisfactory results. Now the underside of the left wing has to be painted black. So I mask off the area with tape. A problem I often had with masking while hand painting was that the thin paint would seep under the tape and spoil the finish. In the comments of my last hand painted video series, Fiery Fred the Beacon Lighter and Zupa Fly gave me a pro tip. They said that once the tape was in place, I should paint the base color along the edge and seal the edge, which is what I am doing here. With the paint along the edge now dry, I use Life Color Satin Black to paint the wing. This takes only 3 coats or so, since black is, well, a very dark color. Now to remove the masking and see how the pro tip worked out. And here you go, a very nice and clean finish. This part here was my mistake, as I over diluted the black paint. But other than that, a very nice finish. So thank you for the tip. I clean up the mess with a Q-tip moistened with water. This works most of the time. In case it doesn't, one can always clean up the area with the original duck egg green. There were a couple of places where I did have to go and do some minor touch-up. The last paint for the underside is the zinc chrome green for the wheel wells. Well then, fellow model makers, that's all for this edition. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please do leave a like and a comment. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Till next time, stay safe, good luck and happy model making.